What I'm going to talk about is not the book. It's not old hours. It's about my shoes, actually. So I think the shoes that I'm wearing today, if you can't in the back, you see them, they're here. I actually think they tell us a story. They've got a story to tell about our future alongside technology and how we can turn it into something positive for us as humans. Now, unfortunately, my shoes can't talk for themselves, so I'm going to tell their story. And it starts like this. So I'm married into a Christmas-obsessed family, right? Melissa's laughing because she's heard this story before. So I'm married into this Christmas-obsessed family, the kind of family that wears matching Christmas outfits every year, takes photos, and really obnoxiously sends that to all of our friends, right? Because who doesn't want a picture of my generic family in all of our matching Christmas outfits? Last year, we decided to make shoes, right? Now, the challenge with this is there's not a lot of places you can buy family matching sets of Christmas shoes. It turns out this is a pretty niche market, right? So we decide we're going to make and paint our own, right? Great idea. Except that I have a critical problem. My critical problem is I have absolutely no artistic ability. I'm not creative in that way at all. I'm great with numbers. I'm great with facts. I'm great with analytics. I am not good at designing Christmas shoes. Right? So what do? I've got this Christmas-obsessed family. I need to paint some shoes to be part of this family, and I have no idea how to do it. This is where I turn to technology. I turn to AI. So I worked with my AI assistants. I worked with image generators to come up with ideas for me, knowing that many of their ideas, many of the days would be bad. Many of them would hallucinate. Many of it would get it wrong. But that what it did was giving me a starting point. Me, a non-creative person, suddenly had an idea of these shoes that I could create. I went back and forward. I said, I like this. I don't like that. I want this style. No, you've got this bit wrong. And finally ended up with a prototype of some shoes, right? That's when then I, as the human, took over, right? I take this design, and now I physically cleaned my shoes, took the topping off, painted them, put the cover on, right? Now I can wear around these shoes that I've made collaboratively with technology, right? Now, that way of working, right, where you work alongside tech, particularly AI, but you have those clearly defined roles, is what AI researchers are calling being a centaur. It's from the mythical idea of the half-human, half-horse, right? You've seen them if you're a Harry Potter fan, you know, the centaurs that come out of the forest, right? The thing about a centaur is it's half and half, but you know which half is which, right? And I'll tell you, you don't want to mix them up, right? But half and half, they have the clear roles, we work together. Right? Now, what we are also learning is that that model of having clearly defined roles that we stick to is actually very effective and is a good way of working alongside technology. To the point that we heard before, we know that technology gets things wrong. We know that AI gets things wrong, so we know it hallucinates. We also know that we as humans get things wrong, right? We hallucinate through our own biases. We have cognitive limitations that technology can help us overcome, right? Studies from Harvard Business School have shown that even people doing heavy strategic work on novel questions, right? If you give them AI, you teach them how to use it critically, right? It can make us 25% faster at what we do and create 40% higher outputs simply by combining ourselves with the strengths and weaknesses of these technologies, right? But as these technologies improve, we're also learning a new model, which is the cyborg. Now, a cyborg sounds like science fiction, right? But it's the idea that we become and we work alongside different technologies as interactive collaborators. So rather than having one set job that is done by the technology and then we as the humans take over, we integrate, we work alongside each other. Now, to some people, this sounds like a dystopian nightmare, right? This is the worst thing that could possibly happen. Why would I want to integrate with a technology? To which I'd like to ask the audience a question. Where is your phone? Right now. It's probably in your hand, it's in your pocket, or I will guarantee it's within arm's reach. And I would argue that it's probably there for most of the times of the day, right? Now, we are already in this world cyborgs. We are already connected and integrated with technology through our smartphones. It's our extended memory banks. Every photo of my kids, everything I've done with my kids is stored on my phone. right? It is our social connector. All of the details of my friends and their contacts and their birthdays and what we're planning to do next is in my phone. It's our extended knowledge bank. It's how I search for things. We are already living in a world where we are technology cyborgs. What's now happening is that the way that we integrate with those technologies, particularly with AI and conversational ones, is really putting this at the forefront, right? So I was a Centaur when I made these shoes. AI did the job of looking through designs, thinking through colors, thinking through styles of shoes, guiding me, and then I took over and did the painting. I was a cyborg when I planned this talk. I worked with my AI assistant, my preferred one's Claude, and I said, I've got to talk at this Think 3000 event. It's this audience, this is who is here, here's what all the other talks are, here's the topics that I want to talk to, I've got 8 minutes, and we planned my speech together. We went back and forward. I said, here's how I want to tell my story. It tweaked it for me. I even did practices. I recorded myself at home. I uploaded the transcript. I said, that went for 9 minutes and 12 seconds, help me cut a minute out, and it did. So we worked collaboratively. So with my shoes, I can tell you which parts was me, which parts was the technology. With this talk, this was a collaborative effort. And I think this is a future or a model that we are seeing emerge and already in many ways be our reality today. Now here's the good news, and here's the critical insight, and I think it flows from what we've heard before. What we're learning is that technologies, particularly AI, is very good at raising the floor. And what that means is it's very good at doing very basic, repeatable tasks. It can elevate us as humans to help us, do quite basic things, help us make less errors. In my shoe setting, it's elevated the floor of what I can create creatively. I could not create custom shoes by myself. It's elevated me. But admittedly, as much as I like my shoes, they're not an artistic masterpiece. They're better than what I can create, but they're not truly creative. They're not truly artistic. That is our role as humans. We are raising the ceiling, right? And so to Margaret's point before, blindly trusting technology and AI is a horrible idea. We know it makes errors, we know it hallucinates. But also, shutting ourselves off from the potential and what it can do is also not an optimal idea. What we are learning is that creating truly innovative, even beautiful things comes from consciously figuring out how we're going to work alongside those technologies. Not to replace the elements that make us human, but actually to elevate our most human aspects. That's all I've got. Thank you.